Welcome back to another episode of Life, Lust, and Lies. You are sitting on the couch with your girl, Bella the God, and I said I was going to start off my episodes telling what the episode is going to be. It's going to be Life, Lust, or Liesy. And right now, my mood for this particular episode is just life. We're talking life and dating and situationships, okay? Because baby, there's no updates about going. Well, I do sort of kind of have a semi update. So I was asked out on a date by somebody that's, I guess, been trying to date me for some time, and I can't really tell, like, I can't tell if they want to be friends or if they want to be lovers, because the line, it's not blurred, it's just like black and white. I don't know, but also I'm not going to ask. I have a little bit of intel, but I really don't like to ask other people someone else's intentions. I need clear intentions from the person that wants to date me. So I think you guys, if you've watched the last episode, you know that there was this guy that wanted to take me out, that never took me to a Caps game. Cool, fine, whatever. So one way or another, I'm getting to a Caps fucking game. And this particular person that has been trying to, pursue me for a little bit over a year, very inconsistent, very fucking inconsistent. If they're watching, if they're watching this, they're going to know this is about them, but I doubt that they'll watch anything like this. Who knows? Now, I don't mean to be offensive if you do wind up watching this, but this is just really what it is and really how I feel. Because some of the things that I'm going to say, I don't think I will be able to say to your face, and it's not necessarily bad. So I don't particularly and necessarily date ugly men, period. Like, I love men across the board. I don't like short men. I don't want to date short men. But you can have hair. You can be bald. When I say hair, low cut Caesar with the deep waves. You can have locks, not starters. You know what I'm saying? You could have wicks. You could be bald. I prefer facial hair, but if you don't, you gotta look damn fucking good. So I love men really, like, of all shapes and sizes, literally from like point guards to like O linemen. Like, Khaled, Rick Ross, like, I love men. You just have to look good and have the confidence that you need, baby. Like, stop fucking playing with me. Okay. So I go, this gentleman asked me out, we're talking. And so I was like, I want to go to a Caps game. Yeah, he does what he's supposed to do. He does his big one. He gets some tickets to a Caps game. I go to the Caps game. And I'm having a good time. Don't have to touch a door. Don't have to drive. Don't have to, pay for anything. Don't have to put on my coat by myself. Don't have to take out a chair. A gentle fucking man. Okay? But as time went on, the night went on, this is when I kind of started to think that he liked me more than wanted to be my friend. Again, prior to, I was really fucking confused. I know in my last episode I said you have like 7 days to take me out, but over the last year, like, we've hung out, but it wasn't ever giving, I want you to be my girl. Like, we gonna do this life shit. Like, we gonna do life shit together for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 10 years. Like, it wasn't giving none of that. So as the night progressed, I was like, oh, I think he might really like me. Now, I had to sit back and really say, I know this is grown talk, right? This is y'all are getting the real, the raw, all of the things. I had to sit back and say, do I see myself happily, because it's a gift, baby, sucking his dick? And the answer was no. And I know you're gonna be like, Bella, what the fuck are you talking about? about if I can't look at you, if I can't look at you and be like, I'ma suck the shit out of that motherfucker, then I can't be with you. And nothing in my head said that was gonna happen. So that's when I knew that I wasn't going to be able to like truly date this person. I would love to be friends, but I don't think that that's the space that they want me in. So it's gonna have to end. So technically, guys, I'm 0 for 3 from the last episode. What do they call them? Ties, disqualified, and we got 1 DQ. And one DQ. I just didn't see it happening. And we're just gonna move forward on to the other things that I wanted to talk about because too much. Like, I'm good. Okay. It took me a while to be able to do this episode, to be able to talk about the things that I want to talk about. So, there's this gentleman that I have been having sex with on and on for 15 years. A lot of the times when I have somebody, I keep them. And so he's one of them. And at this point, I'm bringing him up simply because it's going to tie in to the story that I'm about to tell. Okay, so we'll just call him 15. All right, we're gonna call him 15 so you know who I'm talking about. We're gonna pause that story real quick to get into the grief of a situationship. So earlier this year, I'm going through a lot. I'm going through a whole fucking lot. Okay? Go watch all the convos and codes. You'll see. Okay? There's a reason why my shows, my segments, all of the things are broken down. Go catch up on convo and codes thing and you'll see why. I was going through a whole bunch of shit. And I remember that I hadn't seen any posts from like this guy I used to deal with, and not 15. And I was like, so everybody knows I moved from Baltimore back home this year, and something kept saying his name in my head. And I was like, I can't right now. I can't. And now I realize it was him talking to me so I could get closure. So a couple weeks ago, something's like, go check on this particular person. So I finally listened and I go check on him. And I go to his Instagram, and I know like this one been my boo for like 8-9 years. And it was always something that I could circle back to. And my heart's starting to race as I talk about him. I look at his Instagram because you know your pieces. You know what the fuck be going on. We're not going to sit here and act like we don't. And he had a lot of comments on his last post. I seen 50 some odd comments. Page be locked down, so that was a lot for him. He averaged like 3 to 4 comments per post. Ask me how I know, like a crazy little joint. But it was 50. And immediately when I seen that number, it never said, say happy birthday. I said, he's dead. I clicked the comments, opened the comments. R.I.P., R.I.P., should have never happened to you. Now, there's a lot of men on this earth that you can say great things about, you can say good things about, but this is one particular man who was really about his family. And when I say his family, I mean his immediate family, his mother, his sisters, the niece, the nephew. Like, he was about his family, kind, gentle. When I met him through, it was so crazy how I met him. Years ago, MPD had this like entire operation that they were looking for these men that rode the dirt bikes and the four-wheelers and all of this other stuff. They put out like a 31-page list of about 300 people with their like shots of like their face, some, and the bike that they were riding. So a lot of them had, of course, like balaclavas on, so you couldn't see them, protective gear, So I'm just being crazy, one day on Twitter. I'm full of personality, if you don't know. So I'm like, oh, number 1, he got some ugly eyes. Number 7, his eyes are too close. This one, But I'm also naming the cute ones. I'm like 22, cute. You know what I'm saying? 117, he all right. He a little skinny. So I say a particular number. And this girl jumps into my DM. She says, it's so funny that you say that number because I know who that is. And y'all would do good together. So let me see if I can link y'all. So she goes to talk to Slim and he's like, yeah, it's cool. So we're supposed to link, okay? Now, this is when I lived around the villages, around Harry S. Truman. I lived around, over there. So we talking or whatever. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to be around Harry Truman later. I gotta go over there. I'll be walking my dog, whoop-de-woo, like around the stadium. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm familiar with the area. I live off of Harry S. Truman. I'm very fucking familiar with the area. So this particular day, like, we pick a time that we're supposed to link and he's supposed to be walking his dog or whatever. And I happen to drive the back way out of my house versus the front way out of my house. So I'm just saying, drive the back way. So, you could pull up on him, hopefully behind him or see him coming from the way that I think, because I be thinking and I be knowing. So what winds up happening is I see him, we rap, and, like I pulled over, we talked. He like, all right, I said, okay, I'm going in the house. I'll talk to you later. And I pull off and I don't go the direction of my house. I drive away, right? And then I circle around and I go to my house because I lived right where the fuck he was walking the dog. Okay. So what's so funny is that we agreed to go on a hiking date. I wanted to go to Kilgore Falls. If you're from Maryland, Kilgore Falls is literally a waterfall that you can hike through. You hike through the woods, maybe 7 minutes, and it opens up to this grand waterfall. You can go to the top, you can be down the bottom, be in the fall, sit down. So we're supposed to be going to Kilgore Falls. I'm like, we're going on a hike. I want to go to this waterfall. He's like, ain't no waterfall in Maryland. I'm like, it's a waterfall in Maryland. We're going. So the day comes where he's supposed to pick me up. And I know where he lives. He tried to act like he didn't live around there. He lived probably about 5 doors away from me. Life is crazy. That's how crazy life is. He lived like 5 doors away from me. He had a particular vehicle, a particular color vehicle. And I think what it was I seen him washing a car or whatever. What was I gonna say? I forgot. Either way, I'm trying to remember accuracy, but it's literally been so long that I don't kind of remember. But either way, he's supposed to come pick me up for our date. I come outside. I have on hiking gears, y'all. Like, I have on some cute leggings. It's a cute athleisure set. And he's outside. He had on a white shirt, some white denim shorts, and like some whitish, silver-ish, like Balenciagas or designer shoes, whatever it was. He was fresh. So he was like, you're wearing that? And I was like, you're wearing that? And he was like, yeah. I said, you're wearing that on a hike? Like, at this point, I had told him, like, we realized I told him, I was like, you live right around the corner from me, blah, blah, blah. I said, you have an opportunity to go home and change. Like, he lived 5 doors down from me in townhouses. I could look out my window and say hi. But he was like, nah, fuck it, I'm going like this. I said, okay, I'm going like this. So nobody changed, and we drove the hour or whatever up to Kilgore Falls, and we had a good time. So he was just like, I can't believe you got me out here in my all white with my shoes, like my pants gonna get dirty, da 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 da. And we're just laughing. And I'm like, I really can't believe that you wore that shit to a hiking date. So he's like, he ain't think that I really wanted to go hiking. He said, man, ain't no girl ever said they really want to go hiking, da 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 da. Anyway, we go hiking, we get in the car, he feeds me, we went to some great seafood spot. And then from then, we just had a situationship. If he called, I'll answer. If I call, he answered, and that's what it really was. But we did hang out throughout those years. We hung out. It wasn't always just me going to his house or him coming to my house. We hung out. We were friends. We talked a lot. I knew about his businesses. He grew a business in the area, in the field that I'm in, and that weekend that I was moving, that I kept hearing his name to check on him, was the weekend he was murdered. And I now know, like, I feel that was him saying, check the news, check my page, check shit, so I could see him one last time. And I was just so consumed and overwhelmed with my life that I didn't listen. And me not listening then hurt my feelings now, because I didn't get that closure. This is one person that should not have been murdered. This is one person that was the life was cut too short. My heart is racing, y'all. My stomach is knotting up. But this is one person who absolutely didn't deserve. And so in my heart of hearts, I feel that I know what happened, because this particular person, because of their job, was always armed. So just, my stomach, y'all. Just having someone that you dealt with die. Now, we always did our own thing. It was, what do they call Venn diagrams? It was me, it was him, it was us. We didn't put anybody else in the middle with us. So for me, we knew of each other's families. We knew where each other's families lived, what was going on, but he never met my people and I never met his people. We were literally our own world. We're talking life. We're talking life. And so with him passing away, with me not knowing, not being able to go to the service, not having particular, no closure, I sat back and said, I have dealt with this man for 8+ years, and nobody knew about me. And if something were to happen to me, he wouldn't have known, right? Unless he came to my page and saw the same. He was definitely not like on the radar of my cousins and sisters and everybody to let it be known, because that was just my boom, we did us. So now that leads me to 15. In 15 years as a friend, I have never told 15 that I loved him until after I found out about my other friend dying. And I sat here and I said, now I have to be very careful with how I move forward with the men that I deal with, because especially if it's long term, if something happens to 15 and I've been here 15 fucking years, and there's a lot of reasons why things never went past a certain stage level, whatever you want to call it, with 15. But we're good friends. And, you know, often you don't just put it out there, I want fucking such and such. Number one, who gives a fuck? Number two, people be doing all of this. So although I'm talking to y'all about my personal life, you still don't know. You feel me? Like, you still don't know. Now, if the men watch this, they can probably figure, they'll know who the fuck they are. But 15. So now I'm sitting here like, how do I have these discussions with my men about being contacted if something happens to them? Because I give a fuck. I care. My feelings are hurt. But behind the gentleman that was murdered, hurt. I cried. Baby, I sat in my bed. I don't think I moved out of my bed for like a day, because I was like, oh my God, I was so wrapped up in my own shit, rightfully so. But so wrapped up in my own shit, I did not listen to him talk to me, because that's what was happening. I'm very spiritual. I'm very spiritual, and I know. And it's just like, you cannot ignore when the people are talking to you. You cannot ignore your intuition, or go check. Why is the universe telling me to go check his page? Do they see what the fuck I'm going through? Bitch, you missed the whole funeral. I was able to witness the funeral because his family did record it, and I really appreciate families. I did it with my mom, that live stream, record, do a synopsis of the service. And that didn't help me. It was still, I was in disbelief. I'm still in disbelief, because what do you mean he's not here? Back to 15. So now it's like, how do you have a discussion, not just with 15, but gentlemen, moving forward, without overplaying your part and overstepping boundaries? How do you do that? How do you make sure that you're included in, I don't want to call it a situationship. I don't know what to call it. Like, he's a lover, he's a friend. How do I explain to 15 and other men moving forward that, not necessarily that I matter, but I truly care. And somebody needs to know about me, and somebody needs to contact me if something were to happen to you, because I really, truly care about my friendships more than that lover shit, more than that sex shit. I care about my friendships. I care. And of course, because of the field that I work in, you know, mortician, I'm more in tune. I think I'm very much more sensitive about the people around me that die. I'm sad. I'm getting choked up right now. So this episode is going to end very soon. I'm not going to cry on the screen. But I just want to say, I think it might be easy for some people to say, well, if you mattered or if you really cared, somebody would know. But me, my secrecy, my privacy doesn't always allow for them to share me with other people too. So it's not always on them. A lot of the times it's my decision to say, I'm going to stay right here because of everything we've talked about, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to go past this, but we're still friends. We still have comings and goings and dealings, and we could pick up the phone and talk to each other. But now you can't. But nobody knows about me. It makes me sad. It definitely is changing the way I move forward with people, because how the fuck I'm gonna come tell your mother that I was your bottom bitch, right? Like, I need to be in charge of something. Like, I need to sit in that second row or to the left of her, because, bitch, you my heart, right? Like, how the fuck do you say that shit? But it brings up so many questions and so many discussions that have to be had. And his death has changed the trajectory of all of my situationships. Because if I get somebody new, they might be like, well, who do you think you are? And that might end things. But when you have somebody that's a friend and the longevity behind it, it's like, but that was my friend. But because the way we moved, I didn't get that closure. I didn't get that last moment. I'm not the terminology, show my respect. It's not that. I did not get to see you, although I know you're not there physically, and tell you that I love you one last time. So it's just so much stuff that gets put on your plate on top of everything else that's on your plate about the discussions that you have with lovers. And it makes me sad and it makes me anxious. And that's why this particular episode, the energy of this episode was entitled Life, because that's what it is. This is life. Making a decision to keep Slim a secret and vice versa has got me to a space where nobody contacted me, was able to contact me. I didn't see it the way his murder was announced. I knew his entire name, and this is the funny part. On our first date, I was like, let me see your ID. He said, what? And this is the funny part. I was like, you want to fuck me? He was like, what? I said, you want to fuck me? He was like, yeah. I said, then let me see your ID. He said, okay. And he showed me his ID, and I pulled out my ID. I said, this is me, but I'm Bella. And he said, okay. And the way his name was in the news, they caught his killers, and I'm going to be following that case. I'm going to be following that motherfucking case. I want them motherfuckers. I'm going to be following his case. They didn't catch his killers for a while. I just want to say that I hope this particular episode helps you think about how you move forward with your lovers, with your friends, with your situationships, and you were able to have the discussion, or at least have a cousin know, hey, hit my cousin, hey, hit Brooke, hit Jazz, hit Sess, hey, this one right here, if something happened to me, you need to know. So now I gotta have the discussion, and they gotta be like, bitch, who that? And I'm be like, but if something happened, let my stink know. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I can't play secret squirrel because my feelings is hurt because he was murdered. Now they gotta know my secret squirrel moves and this and that. And now, granted, I share location with my baddest ones. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's so much. Because there's no... It's just so much. I don't even really have the words for this. So I'm going to end this episode of Life, Lust, and Lies. I hope this episode eventually gets a lot of views, a lot of shares, and is a hot topic amongst people. Because death isn't easy. And not being able to say goodbye is not easy. And I think everyone deserves to be able to say goodbye to their lovers. And I'll see you next time on Life, Lust, and Lies with your girl, Bella the God.